Greetings all, and welcome back to Globbits Gaming Channel. Right, we've decided to go, myself, Nick as God, and Die9500, all from the Globs clan, they're all mine, into a scout platoon. I was a bit dubious to do this, because it can be sometimes, if you go in a scout platoon, you've taken potentially 3 heavy tanks away from the team. But what's happened here is we're pretty evenly matched with regards to the teams, in regards to tanks. But we're going to make the difference in this one. And the reason why I wanted to put this replay up is because we actually get notification, stupid wrong word, recognition from both teams here. Now what we decided to do was get our asses down to E7 as quickly as possible. I'm in my WZ-131, which I have absolutely fell in love with this vehicle. I really honestly thought I wouldn't get very far with this vehicle, but I absolutely thoroughly enjoy it. Nick's in his 1375 and Dies in his 12T. So you see the 131, plant the shot into him, he takes my tracks off, I repair my tracks as quickly as possible, and the auto loaders finish him off. Now, this spot here, brilliant little spot for a scout if you can get to it. Now the only problem you have here is if you have an enemy medium come down here as well as a scout, you're going to get your ass handed to you down here. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get up where we came down the hill, and we spot quite a few in the enemy team. Not a massive amount, but a few of them. Now I make an absolute stupid mistake there. I don't know why I crested the ridge. I didn't actually, for one of my old man eyes, I didn't really see that VK aiming at me. But I do see the Shag Panther. Well, the Shag Panther is 100. But I ain't going to penetrate him from this range with 100mm. I've gone for the 100mm. Because what I've been finding with this tank, you've got two choices of guns here. You've got an 85, which has got a stupid little flash eliminator on the front of it, or you've got the 100mm. The thing is, with a scout, you want alpha. Sounds a bit silly, but if you're going to shoot at something, in a game like this for example, you shoot and you run as fast as you physically can away from the enemy. It gets an 8-second reload, which is sort of heavy tank levels of reloading. So, and it's not very accurate, but it has got a little bit more pen, a little bit more damage. To be perfectly honest with you, you're not going to be using the gun anyway that often, unless you're against other scouts. So personally, from what I've seen so far, the 100mm seems to be the way forward. Now, Nick drops back here, and unfortunately gets taken out by the Jagdpanzer V100. So that's a thing, that's basically giving us a marker of where we can go before we get ourselves blown to pieces. So that's handy from him, which is bad news for him really, because he's not going to get much more spotting damage. Basically what we're doing here is not really having a direct impact of the game, but we are. This VK4502B does not know what to do with us. And he's getting a bit frustrated because he's going to try and push us now, which is a bad idea because there's so many like Yag Tigers and T110 E3s, and I'm thinking shit at this point. But he backs off. I think he took a bounce and then he takes a good 400 hit into the side of his turret. He's presenting the only weak point of his tank to all these guys that are sat up here, okay, on the hill, the Jagdpanzer V100 and all those guys. So we've actually locked down this particular area. And every time they drops off the map, we're just going to poke up, have a look. Now, I just hear target acquired there. I was actually considering taking a shot at this guy, but the way he's angled at this point, there's absolutely no point of nipping up there. As soon as he drops off, nip up again, get the spots, just sit here. Now, it's not a very interesting style of play, I'm not going to lie to you. In fact, it's freaking boring. But in this thing, I've had games up and I shoot the ground. Fantastic. I don't like you, ground. Little patch of grass there with your dandelions. I'm going to kill you and turn you black. And I do it again and I get my tracks taken off. I'm getting a bit too big for my boots here. The idea of wait until the enemy drops off the screen there and and basically drops away from my view, I know then he can't see me anymore either. And that's the way. So I'm going to pop up. And with the spotting mechanics in this game, it's very difficult to get a snapshot off if a tank just appears. So you basically wait for him to drop off. Request fire all the time. Yeah, request fire. He'll flash up on the map. He's dropped off. Nip up again. There he is. I want this guy dead. If this guy dies, then happy days. We can move off and do other things. So at the moment, we're just waiting for people. Now people are sneaking into position. They've dealt with the hill, and now this is where the red team's game really starts to go horribly wrong. The tanks that were taking the hill, and I think the VK realised this. And he comes up and I take a shot at him to try and get him to disappear, but thankfully we've got friends. Oh yes, we've got friends. my tank destroyers on my team were just waiting for him to do that. He basically gets wasted. Now what I decided at this point is I'm going to go active scouting. You've just seen passive scouting. I'm going to take a shot at this T110E4. Any damage is good damage against a powerful tank destroyer like that. And I decided to go active scouting. Active scouting is well, basically when you drive around like a spanner, and if there's anybody looking at you, that's going to happen. So, active scouting. But the thing is, the way I look at this, and Nick was taking the piss out of me in chat at this point, I said, well, basically, the thing is, that Jagdpanzer now has shot me. He's not shooting at the heavies. And we get a good job scouts from the E50M. So we're getting recognition from the E50M. Yeah, that Jagdpanzer E100 is now shooting at me. And he's not shooting at things like that FB215B. So, is it a wasted shot in his sort of perspective? Maybe, because scouts are dangerous to Jagdpanzers. And even getting even a thank you or a well done from the enemy team, which is fantastic. Now, Die, bless him, decided to go, I think, artillery hunting, or basically hunting out the two Jagdpanzer E100. And I'm busy typing in chat at this point. And that's pretty much the end of the replay as far as the scouting goes. So that was team scouting in a platoon of scouts, which normally for me doesn't go really well. Because you basically, like I said, you take away too many main tanks off the friendly team, just being scouts. But if you do really well, yeah, you can affect the outcome of the game. And I think this game would have gone a lot different if we weren't there. And basically, Dyer manages to get himself taken out. And like the Object 268 says there, you ignore a scout, you pay for it, and he will never learn. And while I'm playing scouts, I hope they never do. Alright, basically this Jagdpanzer E100 meets his fate. Gets annihilated by the plethora of tanks that are chasing him. We managed to win 15-4, which is fantastic. And I'll see you next time, guys. Take care. Well, I thought it'd be rude not to give you the post-game stats, in fact. So here's my post-game stats. It's nothing today special. Got 28,000 credits and 5,000 experience on a ×5, so nothing to write home about there. But for me, it's the team score. Yeah, the scouts finished. I finished 4th, and I finished 7th in a tier 10 game. Yeah, 780 base experience myself. The top player on our team that did 6,000 damage, the E50M, only got like 300 more than us. Yeah, which is fantastic. Yeah, so I actually really enjoy scouting. It's one of the most underutilized professions in World of Tanks, if you like. But it can make all the difference. So, anyway, this is goodbye. Take care of yourselves. Bye now.